Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. Sorry I didn't post any episodes last week. I was away, just taking a little time off, just relax. I feel like sometimes it's good to take, even if it's just 1 week or a few days, just to calm down, just to get back to normal, just to feel a little bit more relaxed and then get back to the routine. It's, always good to change my routine, but we're back and I'm ready to record more episodes. Today I want to be talking about specifically the weekends and how to stay on track on the weekends, because I know it's so easy for us to be on track Monday to Friday, go to the gym, stick to the meal plan, say no to chocolate, when someone offers you chocolate or alcohol, all those things. But as soon as the weekend comes, that willpower or that self-control goes out of the window and it becomes a little bit messy, and then we feel guilty, we regret it. So I want to share a few tips with you guys and things that you can do to help you with this. So let's jump straight into it. First thing I want to talk about is, why is it easier to go off track on the weekends? Because that happened to me for so long, so many years. So many of my clients used to struggle with this. Some of them are still struggling with this. I think this is something that you won't be able to master, straight away. It's just like anything, it will take time. But we need to find out the reason why this is happening. A few factors that you need to consider, a few reasons, I guess, I believe why this is happening. Number one, and probably the main one, lack of structure. When the weekend comes, our routine, our structure becomes a little bit different. During the week, if you're working full time, 9 to 5, you have the same routine. Maybe going to the gym in the morning, then going to work, spending your time at work. So you have your lunch break, you know exactly what time you're gonna be eating. After work, going home and doing the things that you have to be doing. But on the weekends, it's a little bit different, because we're not going to work, we're not waking up at the same time, we're not going to the gym at the same time, and that's why liking that structure can make things much harder and also much easier to go off track. Second reason, one, lack of routine. There's no routine, things get messy. Number three, social activities. We tend to be more social during the weekends. During the week, not so much, because we have to wake up early the next day to go to work, or if you go to the gym or whatever you're doing, we have to wake up a little bit earlier. But on the weekends, because we can be more relaxed, we are a little more social. Maybe we have a friend's birthday, barbecues, maybe it's your sister's brother, cousin, auntie's birthday, a celebration, something to do with work, but there's always, or at least most of the time, something going on, which means when we're social, there's more food, there's more alcohol, there's more temptation, and there are more reasons why it's easy to go off track. Next reason is that when we think about the weekends, or when the weekend comes, we assume, or we give this, or we have this idea of this like perceived reward. As a weekend, I'm gonna treat myself. I'm just gonna eat whatever the hell I want, because I was really good Monday to Friday. So I deserve to give this to myself. I deserve to treat myself. I work so hard. I just want to enjoy some ice cream. I want to enjoy some cake. I want to go have some KFC. I want to do this and that. And we just want to treat ourselves. And that's why it's easy to go off track. Two more reasons. Next one is emotional connection. Weekends, I don't know about you guys, but for me, weekends means relaxation. And I think for most of us, it does. Not so much in the past when I used to work on the weekends when I was at uni, but now that I have more freedom, weekends, relaxation. Last thing you want to do is be strict with the things that you're eating, and you want to be more flexible. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with being flexible and having a little bit of flexibility. But when we have too much flexibility, anything to the extremes, when we're too strict and when we have too much flexibility, it never works. It never works. It works maybe for a very, very short period of time, and it just makes things much easier for us to not achieve our fitness goals. And last one, mindset shift. So you have that mindset shift over the weekend. I have that emotional connection. I have no structure. I'm just gonna relax. I'll get back on track next week, Monday. So we feel like we need to take that little break. We feel like we deserve that break. We feel like we need to relax, and we can just, restart. And that's a very, I feel that's that's a word we use all the time. I'm just gonna reset, or I'm gonna restart. Yeah, reset on Monday. I'm just gonna enjoy this weekend. When Monday comes, I promise I'm gonna stick to the meal plan. I'm gonna get my trainings done. I'm gonna go to the gym, feel refreshed, feel amazing, and then again the weekend comes, boom, let's start again Monday or next Monday. And sometimes we know that Monday never happens. It's just, yeah, next Monday, and then next Monday comes. You know what? Just one more weekend, and then I'll get back and try next Monday. Maybe you tell yourself, it's okay. I will just work harder on Monday. I want to eat whatever I want. I can just train for a few more hours during the week. I want to do more cardio at the gym. I want to go for a few more walks. For now, I'm just going to enjoy my treats, enjoy whatever the hell I want to eat, relax, and then next week I'll get back on track, fresh start on Monday. Or maybe you tell yourself, it's okay. I will burn it off at the gym tomorrow. That's something I used to tell myself all the time. I'll be like, yeah, just eat this, have that, you can just burn it off tomorrow. And I think that's still a misconception that so many people have. If you're watching this or if you're listening to the podcast and you think this, trust me, it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. I know that it feels like it works like that, especially if you have your Apple Watch and then you're counting your calories, counting how many calories you're burning, but it doesn't work like that. Believe me. Or maybe you tell yourself, if you are someone who's resetting every single Monday, maybe you tell yourself, like, it's okay. It's just one weekend. It will get better next weekend. But again, we know what happens next weekend. It doesn't get better. It just gets worse. It just gets worse. Okay, so indulging too much on the weekends often makes us feel a certain way. If it happens once, there's absolutely nothing wrong. But if it's something that you feel has been happening for weeks and months and months and months, and you feel like it's something that you can control for a little bit, and then something unexpected happens, and boom, you go back to square one, or you go back to just eating whatever on the weekends, and then getting back on track on Mondays, you probably start feeling guilty. That's something, or that's how I used to feel. I used to, I mentioned earlier, be very strict Monday to Friday, but my problem was that I was way too strict Monday to Friday. And then when I was relaxing on the weekends, I would just feel guilty. I wouldn't even enjoy what I was having because I would be like, oh my gosh, I just had this ice cream, or I just had this thing. I want to put on so much weight. I'm not gonna achieve my fitness goal, this, that. And like, even though you feel guilty, just keep eating it because that guilt makes you want to eat more. Maybe you regret it. Maybe you tell yourself, like, what the hell? What did I do? Why did I do it again? Because it's a cycle that doesn't stop. Why did I do it again? And it's that annoying feeling of regret that doesn't let you enjoy the weekend, and it doesn't let you move forward and progress with your fitness journey. Maybe you feel a little bit uncomfortable, you have that discomfort. Maybe you start to feel a little bit bloated. You feel like you ate too much. You feel like maybe your face is getting a little bit swollen. Not fat, but swollen because you probably ate too much. And that's something that used to happen to me. I will go crazy on the weekends and eat non-stop to the point that I will make myself so full. I will be so bloated, but I will keep eating because in my mind, it was the only time that I had to eat those treats. Because on Monday, I'm going to go back to my diet and I'm not going to be allowed to eat this. So I'm going to enjoy it while I can. And that's such a bad mindset to have because it makes you feel like shit. It makes you feel so miserable. And it just doesn't let you enjoy life at all. Maybe you will start getting a little bit of stress because you tell yourself, I'm never going to be able to achieve this fitness goal. Like, what's the point? I keep trying, but maybe it's just not meant to be. Maybe it's just my genetics. Maybe this is just the way that I'm meant to be, and I will never achieve that goal. Maybe you start having that negative self-image about yourself. Every time you look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, I don't like that. I don't like the way I'm looking. Or you start looking at yourself in a different way because you have this image in your head of the person or the physique that you want to have. But when you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't look like that, you're like, oh, this is so annoying. Maybe you stop taking pictures, you stop posting pictures, you stop, you ask people not to take pictures or videos of you, all those things that can mess up with your head. And also low energy, because whenever we overeat and we indulge a little bit too much, this doesn't only affect us on an emotional level, but it also affects us in a physical level. And you're gonna have those energy crashes because you're probably gonna be eating things that are highly processed, highly refined, and it's just gonna make you feel so tired. And then when Monday comes, you're gonna feel like why did I eat so much? I just feel like shit. It's gonna ruin your whole week, and it won't help you have a successful week. And it's just a cycle. It's a cycle that doesn't stop. And maybe you do it and then you promise yourself, I won't do it again. I did this for so long. I used to, indulge on the weekends, and then I would tell myself, I promise you, Danny, I promise you, I won't do it again. This is my last weekend, I might as well just enjoy it while I can, but I promise you it won't happen again. And then what happened? Then the following weekend, I will do the same thing. So I will indulge in those treats. For me, especially with sweets, because I have a very sweet tooth. So I will indulge in those sweets. And then I will feel terrible, have those emotions, that feeling of regret, that feeling of discomfort, that feeling of just feeling guilty. And it was just a cycle. It becomes a cycle that doesn't stop. And maybe this is how you're feeling right now. Maybe you feel like you're trapped in this cycle. Maybe you feel like you're right in the middle and you're not able to get out. Like there's no escape. It's just happening every single weekend, and it's been happening, and you feel like it's never gonna stop. And it's like, how can I get out of this cycle? How can I break that cycle and finally be able to enjoy my weekends without going too crazy with food and without feeling like I'm taking a few steps forward in the week and then taking 20 steps back on the weekend. If this is how you feel right now, let me share with you guys some tips to help you ensure that this cycle doesn't continue cycling, to ensure that you can break through the cycle and you can start enjoying life a little bit more without feeling guilty, without feeling, without regretting the choices that you made, without feeling that you have to be very restrictive Monday to Friday and then go crazy on the weekends. These are tips that have helped me in my fitness journey. Now I'm able to enjoy my weekends. Now I'm able to have the ice cream if I want to have it without feeling guilty and not feeling like I'm going back to square one. These are tips that I help my clients as well to slowly take control over the weekends and just help them be better and become better and make fitness part of the lifestyle. But something I will have to mention before I share my tips with you guys is to remind you that just like anything, any change that we make or any changes that you make to your life or to your routine, it will take time to get used to those changes. So don't expect that this is going to happen overnight. Don't expect that you're going to be able to break through that cycle and, just feel amazing every single week. It will take time. So you just have to keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. Okay, my tip number one is to have some self-compassion when this happens. I want you to acknowledge that not every single week it's going to be perfect. I want you to acknowledge that it might happen again in the future, and that's okay. We have to be very aware of this and we have to be okay with this. Yes, we are the ones in control, but sometimes it takes over and we're not able to control, and that's okay. As long as you're aware of that and as long as we're doing something to work on that, that's what matters. If you use too much energy, if you waste too much energy thinking about what happened last weekend and how you were not on track last weekend and how you feel sorry for yourself and how you feel disappointed about yourself and how you make all these promises to yourself, you're just wasting energy. And that's not going to help you move forward, because right now it's going to be a new day and your mind is going to be in the past, thinking about the weekend, regretting about the weekend, feeling guilty about the weekend. And that's not going to let you or help you have a nice day, a nice week, an enjoyable week. And it's not going to help you move forward. Okay, so tip number one is self-compassion. Tip number two is to reflect and learn. Okay, this doesn't mean that you have to spend your energy thinking about what happened. It means that you have to reflect on what happened and also learn from that so you can change something and ensure that it doesn't happen again. So I'm saying last weekend I indulged a little bit too much and I was feeling guilty, disappointed, I was regretting this. Instead of me just feeling sorry for myself, something I can ask myself is, okay, last weekend was not the best, but why did it happen? Was it because I didn't pay my bills? Was it because I was emotional eating? Maybe I'm stressed about work or finances or something. Why did it happen? There has to be a reason why it happened. Maybe it was social. Maybe you saw your friends after 2 months of not seeing them. What's the reason why it happened? There has to be a reason why. Once you find out exactly why that happened, ask yourself, like, were there any specific triggers or any situation that made it easier for me to go off track, made it easier for me to just do whatever and not think about the choice that I was making. Once you know this, then you can reflect and be like, okay, yeah, this happened. Maybe I was not prepared with my meals. Maybe I was too social. Maybe I just don't know how to say no to people. Now that you're aware, you can work on that. How can I try better next time? So if someone offers me something that I don't want to eat, I don't feel forced to say yes. How can I say no in a polite way? How can I make time to break my meals? How can I make time to go to the gym? Whatever things you have to improve on, that's how we can reflect and that's how we can learn. Plan for the future, planning for the future and having that structure, it's probably one of the best things that you can do. A structure is everything. And that's something that I tell you guys all the time. Without a structure, it's like you driving to a different city without knowing the route and without a GPS. If you don't have a structure, it's just much, much easier and you make it easier for yourself to go off track and not to go in the direction to achieve your fitness goal. So I want you to plan for the future. In saying this, not every single weekend it's gonna be the same, of course. You know, life is always happening. Even if you plan your weekend and you know exactly what you're gonna be doing, unexpected things might happen, and that's okay. We just have to learn to adapt to those situations and learn how we can still stay on track without going a little bit too crazy and without letting that situation take control over us. We are the ones in control, not that situation. Yes, there are things out of our control, of course, just like anything in life. But we can control what we put into our mouth. We can't control how much we move our body. We can control the choices that we make for ourselves. So as long as we can control that, everything else shouldn't matter. Something else I will suggest with you guys, I guess the next tip is to stay hydrated. I feel like weekends, it's so easy not to stay hydrated. It's much easier to forget to take your water bottle with you everywhere you go. I put my water bottle right here. It's much easier to maybe just drink a little bit in the morning, forget about it because you're busy doing things, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I only had 2 glasses of water. And then you try to drink more at nighttime, but then it's too late. You don't want to drink too much. You don't want to be peeing all the time. So that's something I would suggest. Often we can confuse thirst with hunger. So maybe you're just thirsty, but you tell yourself, I think I'm hungry. You're not really hungry, you're just thirsty. So always, always, always stay hydrated. Monday to Sunday. Don't forget that hydration is so important, not just for your body and your health, but also for your workouts. If you're not well hydrated, you're simply not going to have a good workout. You're not going to have a good pump. Your muscle cells are not going to be able to perform as good as if they were hydrated. The next tip that I would say, and this might not work for everyone, but if you're someone who works on the weekend, works out on the weekends, this can really help you because I personally feel like whenever you get your workout done, especially in the morning, so you can just get it out of the way, when you get your workout done, it sets you up for success for the whole day because you're ready, did your workout, you feel amazing, you release those endorphins and you want to have a good day and you make better choices. You're more aware and more mindful with the choices and with the things that you put into your body compared to the days that you don't work out and you just take a rest day. So that's a little tip if you want to maybe change your schedule. If you're someone who trains 3 times a week, you can do 2 workouts during the week and then 1 on the weekend, especially on the day that you feel like it gets a little messy, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. Just find something that works for you. But most importantly, something that I want you to start doing from now on, if that happens, if you sleep up on the weekend and things don't go as planned, I want you to forgive yourself. I want you to be kind to yourself. I feel like often we're really kind with other people, but we forget to be kind to ourselves. Like the most important person in your life, who yourself. We need to forget ourselves. What happened, happened. What done is done. We cannot change that. We cannot go back to the past. So if last weekend was not the best, and maybe the previous weekend was not the best, okay, it's done. It's done. I cannot change that. I cannot go back on time and change what I did on the weekend. I can only reflect, I can learn, and I can be more aware for next time so it doesn't happen again. So let me just quickly recap the tips to help you with this. Number 1, self-compassion. Acknowledge that it's part of the journey and that not every single weekend is gonna be perfect, and that's absolutely okay. Number two, reflect and learn. That's the best way that we can improve. That's the best way that we can make progress. Number three, plan for the future. If you're able to plan for your weekend and the things that you're gonna be eating, the things you're gonna be doing, that just makes it easier for you because you have that structure. If you're not able to plan, just be very mindful with the things that you put into your body. Something I will say as well about this that I didn't mention earlier, just try to stick to your routine as much as you can. I say as much as you can because it might not be possible. So just try to do that as much as you can. Number four is stay hydrated. Hydration is gonna be key. And number five, if it helps you work out, if you can make it happen, because that just sets you up for success. If you keep having a bad weekend, maybe one, maybe two, maybe three, maybe four, maybe five, just remember that 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 weekends will not take you back to square one. I promise you. Obviously, if you're doing this every single day, then yes, you're gonna go back to square one. But a few weekends here and there that doesn't go as planned, it will not take you back to square one. I want you to zoom out for a little bit, and I want you to remind yourself of all the progress that you have made in the past 6, 7, 18 months. Whenever you started with your journey, how long has it been since you started? Even if you only just got started 2 weeks ago, it's still 2 weeks of progress. It's still 2 weeks of you trying to get used to this new lifestyle, trying to create this new routine for yourself. So don't get too fixated on what went wrong, and try to see more what things are working in your favor. What things, what wins are you making? What changes are you making? What new habits are you adapting into your routine? Remind yourself of that, because sometimes we forget that, we forget to celebrate and acknowledge all of our wins. There are 365 days in 1 year. Let's say you have, out of these 365 days, you have 4 weekends that didn't go as planned. So every single weekend, let's just count Saturday and Sunday, that will be 8 days out of the 365 days in 1 year. Doesn't really too much if you really think about it. Even if you have 100 days out of the 365, that's still not too much. The 265 days is still more compared to the other days that didn't go as planned. This journey is always gonna be going up and down, up and down, up and down, and that's fine. It will never be linear. The main thing for us is to continue doing what we're doing and to not give up. The journey will never be perfect. Never. If someone tells you that they have a perfect day every single day, that person is lying to you, believe me. It will never be perfect. It gets better with time, yes. It gets easier with time, yes. It gets easier to be more mindful, to learn how to say no, to make better choices, but it will never, ever, ever be perfect. I've been in this journey myself for the past 14, going to 15 years now. And not every single weekend is perfect. It's easier, yes. It's much easier now. I'm more aware of my body. I listen to my body a little bit more. I'm more mindful with the choices that I make. I stay hydrated. It's my workouts. It's my lifestyle. But there are weekends that are unexpected, and that's fine. It gets better. It gets easier with time. The only time I want you to look back is to reflect and think about what can I do better next time? What can I do better this weekend? Don't waste your time thinking about what happened and why you didn't do that and feeling guilty and regretting all those emotions that I felt earlier. We don't want that. Simply don't give up. Keep trying. Keep showing up for yourself, because remember, you're doing this for yourself. Keep celebrating your wins and be honest with yourself. You can lie to everyone. You can lie to your coach. You can lie to your friends. You can lie to anyone that you want, but you cannot lie to yourself, because you will know deep down what's actually going on. And most importantly, and probably the main thing, just keep trying. Keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. Consistency is always the main thing. As long as you stay consistent, and as long as you keep making changes so you can find out what works for you and how you can make this a lifestyle and something that you actually enjoy, something that doesn't feel painful, because fitness is not painful. Trust me, you are in the right direction to achieve your fitness goals. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please share it on your social media. and tag me at Daniela Del Carpio. Until next time, and as I always say, don't ever stop believing in yourself. Ciao, ciao.